Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and sorry I'm late. I had some more, we got the remodel going on, and I had to meet with the foreman this morning, or this afternoon, so I'm running a little bit late. But I have a really cute card for you today, and I think I have quite a few tips that might help you with your card making, but we'll see. But we're going to use the Beautiful Butterflies today, and the Beautiful Butterflies is a stamp set that comes with the dies, and it also has a hybrid embossing folder. And what that means is you can take a die and put it in the embossing folder, and it embosses it and cuts it out all at once. It's really pretty. We're not going to use the folder today, but at the end of the video, I've been playing with this stamp set quite a bit. This is one of my favorites, so I use it all the time, it seems like, and I have a bunch of samples over here, and hopefully I'll remember at the end of the video to show you the samples, and that one of them uses the embossing folder. But today we're going to use the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set and the dies. So let's go ahead and just jump in and get started. I'm going to start here with some basic white cardstock. I have a piece, I know this is 3x4, because when I was making this, I made a bunch of these cards for my club packets. And now, if you're not familiar with my stamp club, real quick, let me take 2 seconds and explain to you what my stamp club is. We get together via Zoom once a month. We use the same bundle for 2 months, so we're going to be using this Beautiful Butterflies hybrid for February and March. I send out the packet to make 2 cards, and then I always include a 3rd card in there. Now, sometimes my 3rd card is using the same bundle, sometimes it's using a different bundle. It's just a way to show my club members other products, because the catalogs usually don't do them justice. But so I made a bunch of these cards for my card packets, and at the end of the video, I'll show you the stamp club cards that we're gonna make. But like I said, I've made a bunch of them, and so I've come up with some tips and ideas. La-di-da-di, let's just get started. Oh, we need the stamp set because I want to show you a couple of things on there. So I have a piece of cardstock, and like I said, what I was saying, it is 3x4, because I used a piece of 12x12 cardstock. That way you cut 3x4, you don't have any waste, and I love not wasting paper, so that's why I did this one purposely to be 3x4. Okay, and then the inside is 5 1/4 by 4, just your normal inside. So those are the 2 pieces that we're going to stamp on, and that's what we're going to do first. So in the stamp set, they have these 2 little stamps here. I guess they're pretty big stamps, but those are made to stamp onto the butterfly that you cut out. That looks like this. Let me show you real quick. It makes like a, well, and I'll show you samples at the end too, but it's really to stamp on this piece. But I saw Elizabeth from Stampin' Up! Do a card using these 2 pieces here to make the butterfly like I showed you on the sample, and that's what we're gonna do. A lot of talking for nothing. So I've taken those 2 stamps and I've placed them on a, what is this? An E-block, and have them set up to be the wings. And really what I did was make sure that it has kind of like a flat side here, and that this looks like a butterfly wing shape is how I put them on there. Okay, then using Bubble Bath, I'm going to ink that up. That's what I'm going to do first. Just ink this up here good in my Bubble Bath, which is a really light pink, but really pretty. And then I'm going to take some Melon Mambo here, and a dauber, which has a hair or something stuck to it. And I like to take my daubers and write their name on there. I never clean them, although you can clean them, but that way I have a dauber for each color, and it's just easier when you're stamping and making stuff. So then with my dauber, I'm going to just go around the edges, make sure I get those little dots of the butterfly wings like this. Whoop, I'm going to ink him up a little bit more and put some ink on there. And then hang on, I dropped a piece of paper. There we go. Because it's such a light color, sometimes I even like to turn it and look in the light like this and look through the stamp to see that I have the color where I want it. Now I'm going to turn it upside down, and toward the top, wait, let me do a huff. Make sure my ink is still moist. And I'm going to stamp it up here, and trying to get this down here so it's kind of straight across my card, the bottom of the 2 stamps together, and look how pretty that is. Now, I got to do that again, but I got to clean my stamp because I don't want to get that Melon Mambo onto my Bubble Bath. So let me show you another trick. Now, Anna, this is for you. Anna's a club member, and she told me she really doesn't like the chamois. Now, because it gets her hands dirty, and I'm like, you know what, it does get my hands dirty, and it drove me nuts after she said that. So I found a trick that might help her. Now, normally I would just take my little stamps like this and I would just clean them like this in the case that I keep my chamois in. But when you have a big stamp like this, or at least a big block, it's hard to get it in there and get clean. So what I do now is I have a dirty side of my chamois and a somewhat clean side. So I just lay it on there and I kind of pinch it like this. Maybe. There we go. And then I can clean it only touching the clean side of my chamois, and now my fingers stay a little bit cleaner. Now my hands, I'm a stamper, so my hands are always covered in ink, but that kind of helps keep my hands cleaner. So I'm working with white cardstock, I don't get my hands dirty. Okay, so after we've cleaned that, then I'm gonna test it, make sure I really did get it clean, which I did. And then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna ink it up in that bubble bath. Take my Melon Mambo dauber and just get those edges. And it doesn't have to be perfect, at least I hope not, because I don't think butterflies are supposed to be perfect, and I'm not perfect. So there we go. Bring in my cardstock. Now I'm going to turn it upside down, and now these two little bottom parts of the wings, I'm going to line those up again with this, now the top of the stamp, right? I might get my head in the camera, so tell me if my part is straight. But I'm going to lean over here and line those up. You can see through the stamp, so they go like that. Let's see how I did. Let that ink sink into the paper, and then look how pretty the butterfly wings are, just like that. Now, if you're going to make a bunch of them like I did, then you would just take and clean your stamp again with the chamois, no big deal, and you got your butterfly wings. And it really didn't take me a long time, considering how many times I had to clean my stamp and stamp another one. Alrighty, so then this time to celebrate, we're going to stamp this at the bottom here in just some Memento black ink. And when I stamp this one, first of all, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to make sure I look at the time 2, because that's like a straight font, and I want that to be the straight part of the stamp so I don't stamp it crooked. And it's going to fit perfect down here at the bottom. So again, I might get my head in the camera, but I'm checking that time 2 and celebrate, make sure they're centered in there, and I'm going to just set that down. Let's see if I got it straight. Boom, look how cute that is. Okay, let's stamp on the inside now. So there's a happy birthday stamp here. I'm going to just take my happy birthday and I'm going to stamp that here on the inside. I'll make sure it's not upside down. And look, I have a pink smudge. Don't tell anybody, okay? Maybe nobody will notice, although I did. Stamp my little happy birthday there, and then this other little butterfly image, we're just going to kind of bling up the inside or decorate the inside with him. Make sure I get a nice dark, yeah, he's stamped up good there. Stamp that down. There we go. And then with that Melon Mambo again, did I put it away? Yes, I did. I'm going to take these little spots here. Now these line up perfect with that little butterfly I've noticed. So I'm going to take, I don't know, that little single one at the top, I guess. See how it looks like that? That's how I'm going to stamp him here. And make sure that top little dot is in that leaf up, or that leaf, that wing. There we go, in the wing up there. And look how cute that is. Then if we take a dauber, now I've got my bubble bath dauber here. I'm going to just daub a little bit of color over those dots and into the wings there, and it's going to give him, and then I didn't have to color him, because you know how I feel coloring. I didn't want to take the time to color all those little butterflies. So see how pretty that little butterfly with just that little bubble bath ink and those little spots of Melon Mambo are really cute. And that's it. That's all the stamping that we have to do. So let's go ahead and finish our card now. So I have just a basic black. This is 8.5 by 5 and nope, 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it down the center here and fill the bump. I like the bump on the inside. Just gonna fold that over. Get that nice and crisp with my bone folder. And then let's just go ahead and put the inside in. We'll just toss this right here on the inside. Now we have all the colors from the outside coming into the inside and a really pretty decorated. So when they open their cards, it's as special as the inside. Now this is the designer series paper I'm using. It's from the Celebration pack. And if you look, all of these colors are to me very butterfly-ish, or these patterns, I guess I should say, look like that. Both sides, in fact. In fact, we probably could have used the other side, but for some reason I like this side, I'm going to use this side. But look at this one, using just a different pattern. And that same, this is a little bit of Daffodil Delight with some pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie, or is that Calypso Coral? I think it's pumpkin pie. It could be peach pie. I don't know, but anyway, look how pretty that card is. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to just throw this on the front of our card. A little bit of tape runner here. And for some reason, I like this dark stuff to be at the bottom, so I'm going to put it this way. Although this one, I don't think it matters. I don't think it has a top and a bottom. Get that nice border. Excuse me. So this is really 4 inches by 5 1/4. But if you want the measurement, you can go to my gallery, BeCreativeWithKathy.com, and all my measurements are on there. Just click on View Instructions, and that's where the measurements are. Okay, then I have a little piece of black here. This must be 3 1/4 by 4, because this piece is going to layer. Yep, so it must be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Which again, there you get very little waste, because if you cut an 8 1/2 piece of cardstock in half, it's 4 1/4. We're going to lay this right here on top of there. Try to get it straight. I bent the corner. Remember when I dropped my paper? I bent the corner of my paper, and now see if I can bend it back a little bit. Yeah, good enough. Okay, let's put some dimensionals on the back of that, and I don't think I got. Here they are, my dimensionals. Now, if you do your dimensionals like I do, my dimensionals, I like to take packing tape and put it all along the front where the release papers are. That way you just peel it back and all the release papers are stuck here and you don't have those release papers everywhere. You usually, what my tip is, that you got to use the sides. You know, usually we use all the middle and we have all those sides left. If you do it the way I do it, you need to use the sides as you go, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to cut my sides here and use those, stick those down. Now I can go back to the middle like that. That's just if you do your dimensionals with the packing tape. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to my YouTube channel, and there's a video there that can show you how to do your dimensionals like I did mine. All right, so far so good, right? Now we just need a body in the middle of our wings here. So the only die that I'm going to use is this one right here, and I stuck him on my little magnet so I wouldn't lose him. Oh, and I was going to use the inside black piece. Let's see if I have another scrap of black, because I should have cut my body out before I put my white on there. Totally forgot that part. That was another helpful tip that I used on all my other cards. It's all right. I have scraps of black that will work. So I'm going to just take my little blue, and I saw the blue is still on the online store. So if you want a mini blue die cut machine, they're still available at Stampin' Up's online store. So I'm going to place my paper. Got my little die there. We're going to cut him out. Whoops, we're going to cut him out. All right, buddy. Let me stagger my plates a little bit. I can't have, there's another tip. You can't have your paper hanging out the end with the little guy. He's kind of temperamental that way. There we go. Tuck that paper in and run that puppy through. Or I guess it's not a puppy, it's a body. Okay, so we got our die cut here. Maybe if I can get that off there. So just with a little toss. Now here's another tip. If you have a die like this one and your dies aren't coming out simple and you got to take your pokey tool to poke them out, let me show you a little tip here. If you take a piece of wax paper. Now my wax paper, look, it got all destroyed. It's pretty bent up. I'm going to just take this and bend it in half so it fits on that little die cut machine. Take your plate, your chewed up mat, right? And then place, your cardstock here. And then put a little piece of wax paper. It's not like there's a blade that gets dull on here. I think they just get dirty. If you take this wax paper, and now I put it in between my paper and my die. Put this one back on top. Now watch when you run, gotta cover that paper so he doesn't get cranky. And now my die has to go down a little bit. Cover it up like this, right? And then you run your die through here. And it probably depends how much you use your dies. Now, like I said, I've been making butterflies galore, so my die is probably a little bit dirty. And then look, now here's my die right here. And get that wax paper off. Or here's my body, I should say, right here. I'm gonna get that wax paper, which doesn't hurt your paper at all. But now next time you cut out that body, it's gonna just fly out of your die, and your die will be like new again. There we go. Get that wax paper off of there. There we go. So that's just a tip if you're having trouble getting your paper out of your dies. Just run a piece of wax paper through with them and it'll be the answer. It'll take all the problems away. Okay, so now we have our body. Let's go ahead, bring our card back in here, put a little bit of liquid glue. Now you've seen these precision bottles. Look what I found on Etsy. I found these little butterfly die cuts. They come in hearts, butterfly, stars, all kinds of shapes. You put that on the top of your precision right here, right? It holds down this little thingy that always gets in the way, and then it holds your bottle level, so you don't have to shake it down. Now, if you're doing a bunch of them like I was doing, it's kind of nice to have your glue at the ready. We'll see if I can get, he was not at the ready because I didn't have my little butterfly on there. There he goes. Put a little bit of glue on the body here, and I'm just holding him by the antennas. I didn't bother to put any glue on there, and then just set that down here. Now I'm watching, making sure that my antennas are centered between my wings, and look how cute that is. Just gets better and better. Now every card needs a little bit of bling. Let me take this off and put my lid so my glue doesn't dry up here. So I'm going to just take Wink of Stella and color that little body that we just die cut out. And on camera you might not be able to see that little bit of bling right there, but it makes a big difference. You gotta love Wink of Stella. There we go. So now we have a blingy body. Now all the card needs is a few more embellishments. So since we're in celebration mode, I'm going to go ahead and use the celebration bling that's in the celebration catalog. So for the qualifying order, you can get this bling for free, or you could get the designer series paper free, or Stampin' Up! Recently added a bunch more stuff to the celebration products, and you can even get now the beautiful butterfly stamp set for free with the qualifying order. If you have questions, let me know, and they're all available on my online store. So let me grab my take your pick tool here, and we're going to just add, I think I want to put these pink ones on here. So I'm going to just take a few of these and just kind of drop them down. See where we can put some embellishments on here. And now I've used a ton of these embellishments. When they're new, they look like this, and there's even some up under here. So you get a bunch of embellishments on all those pretty colors. Okay, that's our card, just like that. Isn't that pretty? I love using that stamp set to make the butterfly's wings. So thanks, Elizabeth, for sharing. I took your idea and ran with it, and I made myself a pretty card for all my club members. So now that I've promised, let me show you some of my other cards that I've made using this same bundle. So if you watch my videos, remember this one? Now, thanks to Glenda, there was this card. Look how pretty that one is. We did this at my class last month. I think that's a pretty card using that. Now, this is a die. I almost went, this is another die from that die set. And here's the embossing folder. I just took a little mini fingernail file is what these, buffer. I think this is a buffer, and went along that designer series paper, and so you can really see those butterflies down there. Look how pretty that is. Okay, let's keep going. Then there's this one. This one's straight out of the catalog. These are other dies that are in the catalog. This is another celebration item. It's an embossing folder. So if you missed it in the celebration catalog, there it is. Look how cute those little flowers are, or blings are. I don't know what springs. What are those that are from that embossing folder? There's another one. Okay, we keep going. Excuse me. This one, Leanne Livingstone showed me this one. Now she did it in the purple, which is really pretty, but it's a stand-up card. Look how pretty that is. We're going to be doing this at Club in March. I love that card. Using that same designer series paper. Did I already say that? Maybe I did. Okay. Then here we keep going. Now this one's not one of my favorites, but I thought I would share it anyway. You open it this way, and then this is the body here of the butterfly that cuts that like this. That die I showed you in the very beginning. This is another, that same die. And then this, is this another die out of the catalog? I can't remember. Out of the stamp set? No, out of the die set. I was looking for the die set. I just had it not too long ago, and now I put it somewhere where it's not. Oh well, there you go. Here's another one that's not quite my favorite, but this one's a little bit different. This time I took that body and I adhered it to a piece of designer series paper, so it holds the whole thing open, and that way you get to see both sides of that designer series paper and how pretty. I can't decide on my colors, and I don't like how I stamped it, but there, you could take that idea and run with it. Okay, just a few more samples and I promise I'll let you go. So this is the card that Elizabeth made using those note cards. She informed us that the die that I keep talking about that I can't find right now, I keep looking but thinking it'll show up, it's somewhere here. Oh, here, right here. This die. Let me try to get it out of there. And no, that other die, this is not part of the stamp set. This, it has this die, and it has this for sentiments. But anyway, back to Elizabeth. She explained that the die set, especially this die, was really meant to be used with Stampin' Up's note cards and envelopes. So this is what she made, and that's what I ran with to make my card. So this is what I cased it from. Cute, huh? Here's another one. Look, now here's the embossing folder. See how cute that is? You can really see the embossing folder this time. And then I cut that out, but I didn't use the embossed butterfly. Instead, I used the stamped butterfly and put it in there so I could color it. Look how pretty that one is. I do like this card a lot. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the embossed butterfly. This is what it looks like. Now I took a piece of designer series paper and ran it through the embossing folder with the die, and it cut it out, and this is what it looks like. There's another shot of that embossing folder. Cute, huh? I like the heart, stamping the hello part of the stamp set on that heart to add onto that card. Okay, now let me show you my club cards. Before I do, I got to share one card. So Leanne Livingstone, if you heard me mention her name before, she sent me this birthday card. Is this not adorable? Now, I love this card, right? And then she just took a Post-it note back here and wrote a note on there. And I think that is sweet. So then it can sit on my desk. Look how cute that is. And when I saw this card, I wanted to make it using the butterflies. So let me show you what I came up with. So it looks like this. So it sits flat in an envelope, but yet it also rests on your desk just like Leanne's did. And then this is a card we're doing for club, and then I put a piece of white back here so they can put that on the back, or they could do the Post-it note like Leanne did. But look how cute that is. Stands up like that. So thanks, Leanne, for the birthday card. I love it, and look what I've done. I've run with it. Alrighty, last card. And remember we talked about how this die works with the note cards. I just took a note card and cut that out and then glued it down. Now you can see here's that same designer series paper we used today. This is the other die in the catalog, or I mean in the die set. I stamped back here just like I stamped today, only I didn't put them together. I just stamped individually and got all of those on there. And then this is just this part of the body that I cut out again and placed it on the top. And look how cute that card is. This is another card we're doing at Stamp Camp, or Stamp Club, excuse me. So then when I heard, right, that those work really good with the note cards, I checked it out, right? So you could just take a little card like this, stamp on it like I did the other one, take an envelope from those note cards, because this little butterfly fits perfect in there. And I thought, wouldn't that be a fun little party invitation, or maybe an invitation for tea or something? I think that would make a cute little card. I still need to finish this one. But then I started thinking, for all of you that have been around forever and love Stampin' Up! Products, remember these? These are the delightful detailed note cards and envelopes. Now, I've had these for years. Look at these, are really pretty. But what if you took that and ran it through, and look how simple and cute this little card would be. I plan to die cut a bunch of these. I sell my retired stuff online, and this could be my thank you card that I send when I sell my retired product to those people. Alrighty, that's all my samples. I did, like I said, I think I have quite a few of them. I hope you'll give the butterfly, the beautiful butterflies dies and embossing folder and stamp set all a try. Obviously, you can tell that I absolutely love them. Now, again, if you need the measurements for my card today, you can go to my gallery, becreativewithkathy.com, find today's post, click on that view instructions, and all the supplies that I used today and the measurements will be right there. Alrighty, have a good day, and I hope to see you back here next Monday, and I'll be on time about 1:30. Well, fingers crossed, last day of construction. Alrighty, have a good day. Bye-bye.